Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Para again. We are going to practice some more handwriting. All right. And this time we are going to practice uppercase T. All right. So don't run and get your workbooks yet or your pencils. None of that. Just sit and listen. Okay. Thank you. All right. So again, we are working on uppercase T. And like we chatted about last time, the main part of this practice page is really important, right? That's what we're reviewing, uppercase T. But practicing your name is really, really important too, okay? Because so often we write our name so fast on our papers that we don't really take the time to try to make it look nice, right? Or practice the correct way to write the letters in your name, okay? And if we keep writing it the same way that's not the right way, well, then it's going to be really hard to write it the right way because we'll be so used to writing those letters the wrong way, okay? So we really want to take our time when we practice our name, and whenever we do our handwriting, that's when you really take the time and look at each letter, okay? So again, just like last time, I grabbed my nameplate, okay? That is a good idea. If you have your nameplate too, you're gonna wanna grab that. Not yet, you're watching me still. Okay, so I have my nameplate in front of me, and I'm gonna take a look at each letter on my nameplate as I write it on my paper. Okay, I see my uppercase M goes from the skyline to the grass line. Taking my time nice and slow. My R goes from the plain line to the grass line, so I'm going to make sure my lowercase r does the same. Okay. Notice how slow I'm writing. That is because I'm looking at each letter on my nameplate, and I'm also taking my time and going slow, because if I go fast, my letters for sure are not going to look how they should. Okay, it's also wouldn't be my best work. All right. Well, now my name is done. Ooh, if you like, look at all the space I have here. You might have enough space to write your name again. Extra practice. Oh, I like that. All right, moving on to uppercase T. Whenever we practice our handwriting and our page looks like this, we want to look in that black box to remind ourselves how to write that letter. Okay, and if we look closely here, okay, I see a number 1 and 2. That tells us that we draw 2 lines. Okay, we start with our first line here from the skyline down to the grass line. And since there's a number 2, that tells us we need to pick up our pencil and head up to the skyline and slide across the skyline. Okay, now, remember you can trace with the T's that are done for you on your page with a marker. Okay, when we trace, we use the tip, tip, tip of our marker, and we go so slow that our marker never goes outside the black line. Okay, nice and slow. Thinking about all of our lines here. Okay, again, just like uppercase I, you look at uppercase T, you might think, oh, that's super easy, right? Well, it can be easy if you take your time and you think about what you're doing, right? Otherwise, your uppercase T's probably aren't always going to look like this, but they should, because it's just 2 lines, and that is pretty easy, right? We just need to take our time and think about where our lines should be. Okay, so we trace, 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 taking our time. Then we grab our pencil. Okay, remember these lines remind us where we begin. We begin on the skyline. Okay, and our first line is straight down past the plain line to the grass line. Okay, it's important that your line does not go past the grass line. Okay, it does touch the grass line though. Then we pick up our pencil, we head back up to the skyline, and we slide across the skyline. Okay, and this line is just long enough to have our first line right in the middle, okay, of this top line. And this top line is longer than the top line in uppercase I, okay? All right, let's do it again. Got my pencil and I slide across the skyline. Notice how slow I'm going. If I try to go fast, it's not going to look so great, and I'm not getting much practice out of it, right? Okay, something we don't want to see is this. Notice how my line on this side goes much further than the line on this side. Okay, we want our line down the middle to be right in the middle of the line on top. Okay. Oof. Should our T's ever look like that? No, this tells me right away someone wasn't taking their time, right? Because if you took your time, that wouldn't happen. Okay, I'm going to erase this and take my time now. Much better. Okay, so we trace, 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 and then we write on our own. Okay, oh, you may also, if you'd like, circle which one you think is the best. That's fun. Okay, so when you're done, you could take a look at all your T's, circle the one you think is the best to show your teacher. Okay, then you're going to get your marker back out, and we're going to trace the names that begin with T. Nice and slow. You can either trace each name and then write each name with your pencil underneath, or you could trace, 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 and then write, 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 write. That's up to you. Okay, but again, what's really important here is that you're not only taking your time when you write that uppercase T, but that you're also looking at all the other letters, okay, how they are formed and which lines they touch when you write them yourself. Okay, I notice this O here goes from the grass line to the plain line, so I'm going to make sure my lowercase o does the same. Same with M. Okay, that's really important. Your M right here should look as close as you can to this M right here, because you're taking your time, you're looking at both. Okay, and of course the same for Tina and Terry. All right, then you're gonna grab your marker again and you're gonna trace the sentence at the bottom. Tia met me in Texas. Nice and slow, taking your time. Okay, and then of course, when you're done tracing this sentence with your marker, then you're gonna grab your pencil and you're going to take your time writing that sentence. Okay? All right, and again, remember when we practice our handwriting, it's really important that we sit in a chair when we practice our handwriting, that we sit up nice and tall and our back is really straight and up against our chair and our feet are on the floor, okay? That is the only way our bodies can show their best handwriting, okay? It makes it really hard if you're sitting on a couch or on your knees at a coffee table or on the ground. We don't want to practice our handwriting in any of those ways. You always want to sit in a chair, okay? That is how you could show your best handwriting. All right, that is it. I would like you now to grab your nameplate. If you have it, remember, if you don't have a nameplate, you can find somewhere in your house where your name is written really nicely in the right way. Or you could have an adult write your name, making sure that each letter looks exactly how it's supposed to. Okay, or maybe you have like a book or a poster or something that has the alphabet, and you can just look at each letter in the alphabet there as you write your name. Okay, you have some options. All right, you're gonna grab your name tag and your workbook and your pencil, a marker if you'd like to trace, and then you may get to work. All right, well, thank you boys and girls for learning with me. I can't wait to see your uppercase T's. Bye.